All right, man, we back. Sorry, still a little bit under weather, so I couldn't get to the show last night. Barely getting into today. Sorry for the rush job today, man, but I'm gonna try to cover next week and get a picks for next week and get a review last week, man. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Like I said before, I'm barely thugging this one out. But I appreciate it, man, and let's get into it. Um, Last week. We did pretty solid last week. It was better than the week before. It got 7 out of 16. This week we went 10 for 16. So had a better feel for what was going on. Ricky, salute. Had a better feel what was going on. As the weeks go on, I should get a better feel what's going on, how the team's gonna look. Let's go over it real quick. I believe the game of the week last week was the Rams and the Saints. Obviously, we had a couple injuries last week. Uh, Big Ben hurt himself. He out for the season, elbow injury. Drew Brees in the game of the week. He hurt himself. He out for 6 weeks. Aaron Donald injured his back in the game. I think he'll be playing this week. They play the Browns. Just looking at the Rams and the Saints. It went, Drew Brees. Appreciate Ricky in the super chat. Drew Brees played different outside the dome, so that's one of the reasons I went with the Rams to win that game. Anytime you put Drew Brees outside with air and grass and that dome team from New Orleans, they not the same. They not the same football team. All right, that's real shit. When you put them outside on grass, but they got the mentality of an outdoor team. You know what I'm saying? They do. They had that mentality where they can run the ball, but once Drew Brees got out, they defense played well last week. It just wasn't the same. And Drew Brees just don't operate the same outside, no matter if it's the beginning of the year or it's cold. And one of the reasons why I didn't think they would make the playoffs this year is because not having Mark Ingram and then the health of Drew Brees. Out of Drew Brees, who was he 40 yet? Ben Roethlisberger like 37, Tom Brady. The numbers tell you, no matter how much you can't hit the quarterback, the numbers tell you one of them fools gonna get injured for the season. One of them gonna miss a few weeks. They're 40. If you rounding up, all those quarterbacks are 40 or above, around 40 or above. You cannot count on Drew Brees to be there for 16 games a week at 36, 37, 38, 39 years old. His arm is diminishing. At the end of the day, I didn't like the Rams' chances when they got rid of Mark Ingram. That was one of the big deciding factors in me not thinking they'll fall off this year. Also, their defense is playing excellent. So if Taysom Hill or Teddy Bridgewater, which I would personally go with Taysom Hill at quarterback, if he can get them anything, I believe that'll be a great thing for the Saints moving forward. But hey, that was a good game. Bears and Broncos, that ended it's a tumble. Hey, salute. That ended in some bullshit. I believe the Bears should have ran out of time or something like that, but they got the benefit of the doubt. Trubisky is still yet to throw a touchdown this season. Broncos get robbed at home. Officiating was horrible in that game. Offense was horrible in that game. Yeah, one much to talk about. I watched some of that game. You know, they just made a mistake picking Trubisky, but you know what? It's things to do to cover up what Trubisky did. Doesn't do. So what they need to do is work on simplifying route progressions, move the pocket, get him on some bootlegs, feature his running ability, get him throwing on the move a little bit, maybe feature some read option, get him some easy throws, bubble screens, jailbreak screens, running back screens. And what they need to do is run the ball north and south and get Tyreek Cohen involved out of receiving out the backfield. In my opinion, I believe the Bears will be okay. Good defense, Matt Nagy, he'll figure it out. But hey, they 1-1. Broncos go to 0-2. All right. Browns and Jets, terrible game. Trevor Siemian sucked. He got injured. Sam Darnold missed this game. Gonna miss until after the bye week, a few weeks. He got mono. Browns not impressing me. Jets didn't impress me. But the defense did. But with Sam Darnold, he ain't shit no way having mono. They ain't had no chance, especially with Trevor Siemian, whoever the other quarterback is, Falk. But Brown's not impressing me. Baker Mayfield having a hard time adjusting. He ain't reading coverages as well as he did last year. They might be disguising him. He struggled versus Tennessee, who got a good defense. I think the New York Jets got an underrated defense as well too. So he played two pretty good defenses last week. Odell, he made them flashy plays, but like I said before, Browns gonna be Browns until proven otherwise. I'm not impressed with the Browns. I'll talk about them going to the Rams. Chiefs and Raiders. I watched a bit of this game on Red Zone as well. My homeboy just went off in the second quarter. I mean, he pinpoint accurate. Last year, people was telling me he got all these weapons, and you hear Skip Bayless, who don't know shit about football. He's a fanboy. They need to take him off from talking about. Need to rotate him out for talking about football. But people were saying, "Oh, it's Tyreek Hill, it's Tyreek Hill, it's Tyreek Hill, it's Tyreek Hill." Well, he was throwing into this the Robinson kid in stride, just as he threw it to Tyreek Hill. I don't know why it's so hard for black quarterbacks to get credit for doing what they do out there. Okay, no matter if it's Tyreek Hill, Tyreek Evans, Tyreek Cohen. At the end of the day, he dropping that ball in the breadbasket. Okay, he putting the ball right in the hole, and he's pinpoint accurate with the ball. They took away Kelsey for the first couple weeks for the most part. You know, Sammy Watkins had a big week one. McCoy's trying to find his way. Williams trying to find his way out the backfield. But you know what? He's still dropping dimes no matter who. All of them, all they're saying is, "Oh, it's the product of Andy Reid offense or this and that." Then why the fuck Alex Smith ain't throw for all these yards? Why Alex Smith ain't never threw for 50-something touchdowns? You know what I'm saying? They always got an excuse to talk about the black quarterback. But you know what? They see this wave of new quarterback coming, which I'll talk about in a minute before I get to week two. They see this new wave of quarterback coming, and they know, just like the NBA, just like boxing, the white athlete is getting phased. They fear the white athlete is going to get phased out of the NFL, and that's all they really got. Then they going to, and even in baseball, it's all about the Afrocentric people, the Caribbeans, the Jamaicans, the Dominicans, the Cubans, and now even the Japanese and the Chinese, the Asians are coming in dominating baseball over the whites. And they fear that they're not going to have a sport to watch where they'll be able to see predominantly or any white dominant athletes. And that's what I think they fear. And Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, and Dakota Prescott, even if you want to say Patrick Mahomes and Dakota is biracial, don't matter. Still black. All right. Patriots, Dolphins, nothing to talk about there. Dolphins suck. Worst team in the NFL. They look worse than the 0-16 Lions and Browns. Bills, Giants, as expected. Eli sucked. Bills win 28-14. Josh Allen looking good through 2 weeks. Him and John Ross got a lot of good connection going. Not John Ross. What's the kid name from over there, man? I like him a lot. I had him in fantasy a couple weeks. Him and John Brown. Cole Beasley had 4 catches for 83 yards as well too. Steelers, Seahawks. Ben Roethlisberger got hurt, but I don't think it would have mattered. I think it's a good change to see what Mason Rudolph can do. I think Seahawks was going to win regardless. I picked the Steelers. Thought the Steelers would do good at home. Seahawks came in, did what they supposed to do. DK Metcalf. He been doing well over there. 3 catches for 61 yards and a TD. Tight end Disley had 2 touchdowns. Didn't do nothing week one. And Russell Wilson just doing it on his own. I think he an early MVP candidate behind Patrick Mahomes. Chris Carson had 60 yards in the fumble. Rashad Penny had 62 yards on the ground. They combined for 25 carries, 1 touchdown. But brother Wilson getting it done through the air. 29 for 35, 300 yards, 3 TDs, man. And no real help out there. Tell me who is Russell Wilson's number one receiver? Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, a rookie who had problems running routes and catching in college. Excuse me. That's all I'm saying. Russell Wilson is MVP right now. I know it's super early behind Patrick Mahomes, boy. Prescott, he keep rolling in Redskins through the Redskins in Washington. Did anybody doubt that the Cowboys would beat the Redskins? Not me. Even if Zeke would have sat out, it wouldn't even fucking matter. They should go 0-3. They played the Dolphins this week. Redskins, I think they competitive. They missed Jonathan Allen this week, but they just don't have enough to compete with a firepower house like the Cowboys. Trey salute. Vikings and Packers didn't really watch this game, seen a lot of highlights. Long story short, Kirk Cousins lost the game. Shout out to Realistic Randy. I like his channel. If you're a Viking fan or you just like football, Realistic Randy is really, really on point with his content. So check him out. And Kirk Cousins lost the game, threw a pick in the end zone. They started off slow, as they did last year at Lambeau. They kind of marched back. Defense came to life for a minute. Once again, I'm still not convinced that the Packer, 100% convinced that the Packer defense is 100% real, but I believe a little bit more. But Kirk Cousins just sucks, especially outside the dome, especially at Lambeau. Even though he came back last year, I think they got a draw. I just don't trust Kirk Cousins. But hey, Green Bay defense looked good. Offense, not so much. They still got some more to do. But hey, 21 points is an improvement on what they did versus Chicago week one. Minnesota is a tier lesser than Chicago defense, I believe, especially on the road. But hey, I believe Minnesota just got to continue to run the ball. Short passing game to Dalvin Cook and Thielen and Diggs. They got to do something to mask Kirk Cousins fucking them over. They should have really traded up and tried to get a quarterback when Mahomes and Deshaun Watson was in the draft. But hey, it's easy to say that in hindsight. Jaguars and Texas toilet ball game. Ramsey held DeAndre Hopkins down pretty much. I think he only had like 5 receptions for 50 some yards. Let me double check. Uh, Minstrel, he didn't do that bad, but he'd get better. He had 5 catches for 40 yards, but Watson still taking too many hits. But you know what? One of my sleeper teams was the 49ers. I picked the Cincinnati to win this game. I figured they did good versus the Seahawks on the road. They'd come home and smash the 49ers. Nope, Jimmy Garoppolo threw a block party. 17 for 25, 296, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Breeder ran that thing, 12 touches, 121 yards. He had another guy named Monstert. He told it for 83 yards, 13 touches, no touchdowns. And Debo Samuels had 5 catches, 86 yards, 1 touch to Rook. Uh, Goodwin had a early deep catch. He had 3 catches, 77, 1 touchdowns. Monster had a catch out the backfield for a touchdown, 6 catches, 68 yards, and George Kittles had 3 catches, 54 yards. So 49ers looking good. Bengals are who we thought they were. Andy Dalton didn't have a bad game though. They just can't run the ball. Joe Mixon, which I thought was going to be a scratch, played 11 carries, 17 yards, 1.5. Got to do better than that. Giovanni Bernard just got a new contract, 6 carries, 6 yards, 1 yards per carry. Got to do better than that. Tyler Boyd, he came to life. 10 catches, 122. John Ross repeated what he did last week, at least for 1 touchdown, 4 catches, 112 yards. I guess when AJ Green come back, they have something to look forward to, but they got to be able to run the ball better in Cincinnati. But the 49ers doing what I thought they would do, and that will roll. Colts versus Tennessee. I had a feeling that the Tennessee Titans was going to lose this game. I picked the Titans though. They came up short in the end. I told you guys, Jacoby Brissett was a good backup quarterback. He was going to get better. 17 for 28, 146, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. They could have won. They could be 2-0, but they lost to the Chargers in overtime. Melvin Mack, he didn't have that 175 yards like he did on the Chargers. He had 20 carries, 51 yards. But hey, they got good. They got good defense. Darius Leonard, them boys, I believe his name is, and Ebron got in the end zone for 3 catches, 25 yards. T.Y. Hilton, he got up in the end zone, 4 catches, 43 yards. The Titans still a good team. They just don't have consistent quarterback play. Once again, 19 for 28, 154, 1 TD for Mariota. And if they ain't running the ball, even though Henry had 5.5 yards to carry, 15 carries, 82 yards, 1 touchdown, if they not running it, and they not getting vertical. They just don't have no passing game. Also, Lorna, bro, salute. They don't have a passing game, bro. So they got to get better play out the quarterback position. Tennessee could be a sleeper team in the AFC. They just got to get more production out the quarterback. And that's just what it boiled down to. Chargers and Lions. I picked my Lions to win this game. Figured they would. Wouldn't have seen it be this low scoring, though. Rivers threw for 21, 36 yards, 293, 1 interception. He did get in the end zone. But Austin Eckler did on the ground, 17 carries, 66 yards, 1 TD. Keenan Allen had 8 catches, 98 yards. And Mike Williams had 3 catches, 83 yards. Matthew Stafford had 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 22 for 30, only 8 incompletes, 245. Kerryon had 12 touches, 41 yards on the ground, no touchdowns. But the touchdowns did come through the air to Kerryon Johnson on the screenplay. And Kenny Galladay, 8 catches, 117, and 1 touchdown for the go-ahead touchdown. So that was a real good game. Check out the channel, Motor City Sports Talk, for more views on that one. It was a good one. Ravens and Cardinals. Kyler Murray looked to be a real deal. He threw for like 350. Yep, 349 this game. Didn't get in the end zone. They got to find a way to run the ball. No way. David Johnson only had 7 carries, 14 yards. He had 1 TD. But Arizona got to find a way to run the ball. They got to line up in I formation, single back, 2 tight ends. They got to implement some type of pro style heavy set in that offense. They can't just go air raid all the time. If so, they need to they need to trade David Johnson to a contender or somewhere where he can get the touches, in my opinion. But Lamar Jackson did the funky Watusi again last week. 24, 24 completions, 37 incompletions, 272 through the air, 2 touchdowns. He was 16 carries, 120 on the ground. His receivers, Mark Andrews, tight ends, caught a touchdown, 8 catches, 112. And His tight end Hayden Hurst caught a touchdown as well. I guess on the 1 yard line. So, Ravens looking good. We talk about them Thursday night, which is tonight, was last Thursday. Buccaneers and Panthers. Buccaneers stuck that out. Just Cam Newton is done. That's one thing you figure about that. Jameis made the less mistakes, and North Turner didn't help Cam Newton out at all. He didn't help the left tackle out. Didn't chip. Didn't keep a tight end over there. What was that? Shaquille Barrett, I think, destroyed Cam Newton last week, and it wasn't even close. He beat the shit out of that kid, man. And for Cam Newton getting hurt last week, that's on North Turner for not getting Cam Newton no help to left tackles, man. If you can't get him no help, if you're not gonna help the left tackle and the blind side, that's the quarterback's blind side for a right-handed quarterback. You know, Cam Newton beat up because he played stupid like Andrew Luck, but also they didn't protect him with a good offensive line, and that's just the bottom line. But last week picks, I was 10 for 16 last week. Did better than the week before, 7 for 16. I picked Carolina, they lost. Picked the Ravens, they won. Lions, they won. Titans, they lost. Bengals lost. Houston won. Minnesota lost. Should have won. Thanks to sorry ass Kirk Cousins. Cowboys won. Steelers lost. Bills won. Patriots won. Chiefs won. Rams won. Bears won. Eagles lost Sunday night. Browns won. So hey, we was good 10 for 6 last week. And no, I did not win the FanDuel Pick'ems challenge this week, but I'm still alive for the still alive streak. You got to pick one game a week. You only can pick one team once. And at the end, whoever survived get that bread. If you playing that on FanDuel, so if you ain't started, I think it's a wrap. But we just going to. Sorry, a little bit. I'm still under the weather, man. I ain't been able to really do shit. Oh man, everybody gets sick around this motherfucker. Hopefully, I'm the last one. But yeah, man. Looking into this week. Uh, my bad. Appreciate it. Damn. I've been talking shit that whole time. I hate when my shit reset. My bad. My bad, man. Damn, I should have read that sooner. All right, damn. All right, basically what I said was, let me go back through it, dog. My bad. I didn't see it, but we back. All right, we went through week one, week two picks. Shit. Let me go back on my screen so I can see it. We threw week two picks. It was we had Carolina winning, they lost. Ravens, they won. Lions won last week. Titans lost last week. Bengals lost. Houston took that dub. They won. Minnesota lost. Cowboys won. Steelers lost. Bills won. Patriots won. Chiefs won. Rams won. Bears won. Eagles let me down and lost. And the Browns won last week. So we was 10 for 6. Previous week we was 17 for 6. So hopefully we continue to improve. Um, yeah, man, I'm still alive in the FanDuel Survivors contest. You pick a different team each week to win. And if you make it to the end, you get the bag. So yeah, check that out, man. But we going to week two and repeat everything I just said. Hopefully I won't go on that long. Week two highlight games of week two is Lamar Jackson taking on Patrick Mahomes. The Eagles are going. The Ravens are going back to Arrowhead this year. Last year, Mahomes made a great 4th and 10 pass. You got Sunday night game, the Rams and the Browns. The 49ers and Steelers would have been good, but the 49ers Steelers got Roethlisberger out. Bears and Redskins Monday night. I'm pretty sure nobody be staying up to watch that garbage shit. Texas at Chargers. That's 4:25 game. You got Saints and Seahawks. No Drew Brees, but I still want to see what Taysom Hill, Teddy Bridgewater looking like. Um, Falcons and Colts. Falcons going to Indianapolis, coming off that win over the Eagles. That should be interesting. Lions and Eagles. Lions traveling to Lincoln Financial. That should be interesting. So those are the interesting games this week. And what's been the headline in the NFL this week, real quick, has been the black quarterback. The black quarterback has been the headline of the NFL this week. Dakota Prescott earning his chips. Lamar Jackson balling out. Patrick Mahomes balling out. Russell Wilson carrying the whole freaking nation on his back and not having that much help with the Seahawks. So the black quarterback is really starting to take over early in this season. And salute to them, man. And, right now, I think it's an amazing thing to see so many great black quarterbacks doing well this early in the season. Really, no real running back has really separated themselves yet, man. Nobody really going to separate themselves in one season, in 2 weeks. So it's going to be some adjustments to be made. Patriots look like a well-oiled machine. They look like they going back to the ship. They undefeated. The Bills undefeated. The Chiefs undefeated. The Ravens undefeated. So somebody be not undefeated between Chiefs and Ravens this week. Everybody in the AFC South got a loss. Then you got the Cowboys undefeated. The Rams undefeated. The 49ers undefeated. The Packers undefeated. The Lions technically undefeated. 1-0 and 1 tie. And that's it. You only got 4 teams that's undefeated. And 3 come from this, or 5 teams. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 3 of them come from the NFC West. So the NFC West holding it down. Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, all undefeated. Cowboys and Packers and Lions so far. So really the headline of this week is going to be Lamar Jackson and Patrick. Get to it, oh shit, my shit keep going on. Why? But yeah, man, we gonna my bad. I don't know why my mic keep going out, but but also the headline this week is Jalen Ramsey. He demanded a trade. Um, man, everybody want Jalen Ramsey. You hear Lions fans. You hear what up, Cheese? Cheese talk salute. You hear Packer fans. Everybody want Jalen Ramsey, right? But the thing about getting Jalen Ramsey is you got to pay him. He want above market value. Now, to put it in perspective around the value that he will want, Howard, from the Miami Dolphins, the highest paid corner. He is probably one to look out to get out of Miami as well. He had one good year. He got, I think, 50 million guaranteed, I think it was. Or he got somewhere around there, 40 million some guaranteed. So Jalen Ramsey gonna be looking for at least 50 million guaranteed. So that's something to look at, man. So you got to pay him a lot of money just to be a corner, And then if you don't pay him, he gonna sit out next franchise. If you franchise tag him next year, he gonna sit out for training camp, and then you got to worry about him getting injured and all that. He want his money, and then if you don't pay him his money, he a diva. He's sassy. I remember he came here to Detroit and we beat them. He was crying his rookie year. So you got to deal with his attitude. But if you got a good locker room like the Cowboys, you got a lot of veterans there. Maybe they can handle him. You got a good locker room like the Eagles. You got a lot of veterans there. You're going to be winners. You probably can handle them there. You got the Kansas City Chiefs. You got Mahomes on a contract, right? On a rookie contract. You might want to get him there for me. You lost Eric Berry. Looking at Houston, hey, your corner, but you still got Jonathan Joseph. He like 1 billion years old. Looking at him there. Now if I'm looking to trade an asset for something, right? To trade an asset and not really have to pay nobody. Well, Xavier Howard been paid 20 million of his whatever his guaranteed money was, 40, 27, I think it's like 47, 50 million. He's a more respectable character to have. He's 6'1". No, he's not Jalen Ramsey, but if you like the Lions, you got Darius Slay on one side and you got to pay him. Hey, you put Xavier Howard on the other side. He already sold up. They already paid him 20 million in his guaranteed money. He got a potential out in the middle of his contract. It makes sense. If you're the Eagles, Xavier Howard makes sense. You don't have to give up two number ones that they asked for Jalen Ramsey. So there's multiple flavors out there. And then don't forget, Patrick Peterson is coming back in a couple weeks. 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. Hey, he might be on the trading block. So you see where you at in about 4, 5, 6 weeks. Get Patrick Peterson. Make sure he a clean athlete coming off the little PED thing. So you got options out there. Especially if you're the Eagles, you don't have no corners. You got options. You know, real talk. You got options out there. So yeah, that's just what you're looking at. But just being a completely objective and looking at it, Kansas City probably need a guy like Jalen Ramsey because they have nobody to match up uh, with if Antonio Brown's still there in the way Josh Gordon running. But last year they would have beat the Patriots, even though they had Josh Gordon and how good he looking this year so far. He got to stay clean because D4 was offsides. I remember I was live for that game and I wanted to choke the shit out of D4. And they traded him. Good for them. He with the 49ers. He undefeated too. And D4 jumped off sides and they would have won that game. But hey, if it was a fifth, we all be drunk, right? Look at the Chiefs, you look at the Texans, you know what I'm saying? God no not let the Patriots get them. But you look at somebody that's gonna be in a winning contender. I don't know what cap space looks like or nothing like that. But Minka Fitzpatrick was traded. His mom was complaining on Twitter. He didn't want to play safety or he didn't want to keep bouncing around different jobs. So the Dolphins must have liked his character and traded him. You don't see too many people that want to get out of Miami. But when you play for the Dolphins and they about to go 0-16, you definitely want to get out of a burning situation. So he got then he got 17 million guarantee. Appreciate it on the Minka Fitzpatrick. Jeff, they paid him at least 20 million of that guaranteed money already. El Jefe said Cowboys finna win it all. Yeah, right. But just looking at it, it should be interesting. If I'm more of I got one good corner on one side that I believe, like I'm the Lions, I'm looking more at Xavier Howard. He paid half his guaranteed money paid. I'm looking at, but if I'm a team like Kansas City, I might do it. I'm a team like Houston, I might do it. I'm a team like, hate to say it, New England, I might do it. I mean, you a team like Baltimore, Jimmy Smith just got injured, maybe I might do it. So at the end of the day, we'll see how I go. I like Jalen Ramsey, like his passion to win, but you know what? A player like that for a team that don't have leadership, like a glaring leader, like maybe the Lions, where you don't see a Ray Lewis or a Warren Sapp or a John Randall, or you don't have a Tom Brady, like a vocal energy type of leader. Jalen Ramsey be good for some. He'd be a good he'd be good to be a face of your defense. He's sassy, and that's not a word that we really make synonymous with men, but he gives your defense an identity. Since Ndamukong Suh left the Lions, we just ain't never had that nasty or an identity at all. Ramsey would give us that identity. The Patriots, I don't know if he fit with their Patriot way. If Antonio Brown stayed with Jalen Ramsey, I think that's too much color. I don't mean black. I just think that's too much color for a black and white team. The Patriots are black and white. They don't want nothing out of color. It's like Pleasantville. If you ever seen the movie, if you ever seen the movie Pleasantville, it had Paul Walker. He just died a week ago. His anniversary was a week ago. If you ever seen Pleasantville, everything was black and white. Everything was perfect. Pancakes, waffles, schools, firehouse. Everything was perfect about Pleasantville. That's the Patriots. Now they didn't add a little bit of color to their little perfect black and white world. They add another color, it's gonna be like that girl that destroyed their whole town and brought color to the town. So that's what I'm saying. I think Jalen Ramsey is a little bit too hip for Bill Belichick, but he might be trying to win at all cost. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I don't like the personality fit with Antonio Brown and Jalen Ramsey, but it is what it is. If they get him, we gonna be saying this over with. But in football, it ain't like the Golden State Warriors, baby. You got there's more possibility of getting injuries and stuff of that nature. But just keep looking. What really surprised me about this week, Browns still ain't get on track. I'm surprised the Browns didn't score more than 23 points. Like I said, I'm happy with the quarterback. The black quarterbacks is doing well. Going into this week, you got Daniel Jones that's starting, Mason Rudolph that's starting. You got the Kyle Allen guy, I think, from Carolina starting this week. Surprised Will Greer ain't getting a start. he might not be catching on from the offense well. He in Virginia, he was a shotgun type of quarterback. So getting under center a lot, they do in that North Turner offense. It may be a learning curve for him, but it should be real interesting. Barber salute. What we get this week, we got a lot of different quarterbacks starting. Can't wait to see Kyler Murray once again. Uh, his arm is electric. He's a dynamic player. Like him a lot. Um, and talk about them Bills. They 2-0. They should be going to 3-0 with the Cincinnati Bengals, but the Bills got to prove to be a consistent team. They got to beat teams that they supposed to beat this week. Carson Wentz, the Eagles, that's another team we talk about. A lot of injuries. Alshon Jeffrey's doubtful this week. Deshaun Jackson out this week. So Carson Wentz, one thing I've seen about Carson Wentz, and I don't watch a ton of Eagles games. Once you hit Carson Wentz is not the same quarterback no more. Once the Eagles started getting in Carson Wentz's ass last week, he folded. You could see in his face. His face went from white to flush to all the way red. So, if you playing the Eagles, you want to get pressure on Carson Wentz, hit him early, he going to get out the game. You know what I'm saying? So, that's something to look at, man. Carson Wentz, he got a lot of chinks in his armor, in my opinion. He's soft. And for somebody that's small and frail, not to get in the weight room to get more durable, it's beyond me. I still don't believe in the Falcons. I don't. That was a must win last week. They got it done. Raiders, still, they are the Raiders. Excuse me. Without Antonio Brown. Pretty much other than that, we didn't really covered the majority of the team so far. So let's start this week with our picks. All right. Get to the chat real quick. Oh yeah, Xavier Howard, Jeff. He gone. They gonna get rid of him. I don't know. They may wait till next year after they won't get their guaranteed money. I think Ramsey can end up on the Pats if they feel it makes sense. The one-on-one battles in practice, they like people to compete. But I just think his personality too much. If they get rid of AB, then that makes sense. Rose is starting in Miami. He should be starting. When it's overrated. Yeah, I'm starting to see that, bro. But that offensive line wasn't blocking. One thing about being at home, they get a pass rushing advantage, and the offensive line not an advantage. Doug Peterson got to run the ball north and south with Jordan Howard. Unless if he gonna keep running it, them sweeps, then you might as well trade Jordan Howard. He's a north and south runner. Sometimes it's good to put your quarterback under center because being under center it eliminates some things. It opens up some things. Being in shotgun eliminates some things. Do you really fear the run coming out of shotgun like that? No. You know what I'm saying? And also, you looking at the ball being snapped coming to your hand. That split second, you looking at the ball being snapped to your hand, the defense can change to something else. When you under center, you can see the defense change until you get the snap. When you in shotgun, excuse me, y'all. When you in shotgun, you whatever they doing, clapping, hype, you look down and get the snap. Before you know it, that safety that was in that box, he could probably go back and cover. Now you thought it was one, it was single high, and now he didn't flex back to, he didn't dropped into a robber, or he didn't drop back into a 2-man deep, or he didn't dropped into a cover 4 zone. So that's the thing about shotgun. That split second you looking down to hike the ball to get to your hand, you look down, the defense can change. You know what I'm saying? When you under center, you can see all the changes happening. You can see that DB that would seem like he about to press. Now he fall back in the coverage. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of advantages under shotgun. You gotta respect the run more. Under center. You gotta respect the run more under center. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of advantages to being under center. It opens up the possibilities of anything. Being in shotgun is cool, but then again, when you run out of shotgun, that running back don't get the full head of steam. When he lining up, 5 yards off the line of scrimmage or whatever it is, 3, depending on what you running, he get that full head of steam when you hand the ball off. When you come from shotgun, you don't get that momentum from that handoff. You got to build. That's why you see a lot of shotgun plays from Doug Peterson go east to west, so those running backs can sweep across the quarterback face to get that momentum to go east and west. When you hand the ball off to go inside in the shotgun, that running back don't get that momentum. So if he get hit, He don't have the momentum to go forward. 9 times out of 10, he going down. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's very, very important to be in shot, to be under the center. You know, you still can mix in some shotgun, but guys like David Johnson and Jordan Howard, they really guys that like to line up behind the eye or in the single back while the quarterback under center. They are those type of running backs. And Jordan Howard and David Johnson value is getting hurt being in those type of new air raid, new spread out systems. You know what I'm saying? But you see how the Patriots do it. They a jack of all trade. They do some spread, and they also, and next week they spread you out 5 wides, 4 wides. Next week they come in, activate 3 or 4 tight ends. They come in 2 tight end sets, 2 receivers. They come in with 2 big ass running backs, a fullback and a running back, and they come in and check it down your throat. You just don't never know what they gonna bring to the table. And looking at Arizona, they limiting themselves by only being in the shotgun all the time. They hurting David Johnson. If you're gonna have David Johnson there just to be another a third, or fourth, or fifth receiver out there in the backfield, trade him. Trade him. You hurting his stock. No matter how much money he getting, he wasting his best years. That's a Hall of Fame type of potential type of player. Jordan Howard. That's why they got him out of Chicago, because they didn't want to run the ball under center no more. These dudes want to get here, 3, 4, 5 receivers, and do shotgun runs every now and again. That's cool. Then don't get a running back like Jordan Howard. You want Sproles. You want Darren Sproles. You want who else you got out there? You want your Corey Clemens. You want your Saquon Barkley, even though he can do it all. Saquon. You want your Alvin Kamara. He another one that can do it all. But you want those kind of scat backs. You know what I'm saying? You want your Austin Ecklers and your Rashad Pennies and shit like that. You got to line up and go north and south with a Jordan Howard. He's too fucking big to be out there going east and west. You know what I'm saying? You got to go east and west. He said Kaepernick should hang up his... It's over with. When he took that money, bro, it's over with. That's like taking the buyout from Chrysler, GM, and Ford. Once you take that $200,000 from them or whatever it was, $150,000 in buyout, you terminate your contract with them. Excuse me real quick. Still sick as hell. You terminate your contract with them. That's what he did. He terminated his contract. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to speak up. He want to hide behind people and cool. He trying to get his Al Heyman on. But he signed his deal. He signed it away when he took that money. Raise on, salute. But does the 2020 NFL draft look? I really don't. I just know Tua and Herbert. That's it. Tua and Herbert coming out the 2020 draft. I wouldn't count on Shea Patterson. That's what happened. He knew he should have got as much money out of that deal that he signed Kaepernick. He should have got all the money he wanted. He should have went to court. He should have took that to trial. And what happened with Kaepernick is that his teammates let him down. And it ain't nothing new. NFL players been letting themselves down for years. No lifetime benefits. Pension shitty. How can I play somewhere like the NFL for 5, 10 years? Brain injuries, ass injuries, hip injuries. You see all these NFL players coming back suing because they don't have lifetime benefits. You got motherfuckers at the plant working 30, 40 years or 25 years and getting at least partial lifetime benefits. How you an NFL player in a multi-billion-dollar business, the highest grossing sports in America right now, and you don't have lifetime benefits? See, when you're young, you don't think about nothing like that. You think you're invincible. You think you ain't got to go to the doctor. When you in football, all them injuries add up. From the running the hills, the running the miles, from the Pop Warner, Pal, Pee Wee games, to the high school games, to the college games, all that shit add up. That fucking toe injury that you got that took you a day or two, that sprained ankle that took you a week to heal, in high school, that shit gonna take you a month to heal. You're gonna sprain that ankle again, you're gonna strain it again, eventually you might break it, you might fracture, you might keep spraining and spraining it. When you get older, you feel that shit. Especially when you in shout out to Buzzworld Hip Hop, salute, bro. Especially when you in a cold state. Why do you think all these old people like to move to Florida? Every little fucking pain, aching pain and strain you got from playing sports, when it get cold, you feel it after a while. Especially you get 40, 50, or 50 and 60, every little thing you feel. You might strain your hamstring in the 5th grade. When it get cold enough up in the north, northeast, up in the north, Minnesota, Michigan, New Hampshire, Delaware, Vermont, New York, you feel that shit. And you telling me that I didn't put my fucking ass on the line for the NFL to build a foundation for Roger Goodell to take home $22-30 million a year, more than most players take, and he get lifetime benefits, but I don't. Man, they've been messing over themselves for years. This wasn't a black thing with Colin Kaepernick as far as his teammates letting him down. This has been a problem in the NFL forever. I say it again. NFL is excuse me, a little bit sick. It's filled with a bunch of raccoons. And I don't mean is the word as far as black men, the buck dancing for the white men. No. They've been playing themselves for years. I mean, they just don't support each other. That's basically what I'm trying to say. It ain't a Kaepernick thing. Kaepernick need to know what hand he was dealing with at the spades table. You know you had a shitty hand. That's probably why he folded. It ain't even a black thing. The white players spoke out against Le'Veon Bell. The black players, why he holding out and this and that. All of them. The whites, the blacks, the players don't care nothing about the bigger goal. They don't. Because the Rodgers, the Bradys, the Breezes, they gonna get taken care of. I can understand. Excuse me. I can understand the quarterback saying fuck it. Anybody else, the kickers, the tight ends, the linemen, the receivers, the coaches, whoever, anybody else, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Like Shannon Sharp say all the time. In the NBA, you got centers, you got power forwards, you got shooting guards, you got point guards, right? Ain't no cap on how much a small forward can get. Or, I ain't gonna say no cap, but a small forward don't make more than a point guard. A center don't make more. If y'all on the same level, if you a max player, and some people in the NBA ain't a max player, if y'all on the same level, we both in the same contract. It's a different set of rules in the NFL. They put these quarterbacks on a pedestal, right? And say, well, they just that much important to the team, and so they get to make that much, but the running back don't make that much. The tight ends don't make that much. The left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle don't make that much. The kicker don't make that much, rightfully so. Safeties, corners, linebackers, Mikes, Wheels, Strongs, defense tackle 3 technique, whatever. Ends, rush linebackers. NFL players let that shit happen. NFL players let that happen. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's a player thing. And a players union need to double check who leading that union. They need to double check who leading that union. Because I'm going to tell you this. DeMaurice Smith is working for the NFL. At the end of the day, when he negotiated that shitty contract before, right, he got a check from the NFL and Roger Goodell. I guarantee you he did. He got a fat ass check. He got a fat check from the NFL. They listening to him. His ass should be hanging from a tree. They need to get rid of him. They better off getting the UAW up in that motherfucker. And they ain't shit neither. They need to get rid of the NFLPA altogether. When this season over with the Patriots, the Lions, the Steelers hold the Super Bowl trophy up, they need to officially disband, get rid of the NFLPA. They better off representing themselves. Save your union check. What is your union there for? What's your union there for? You don't have lifetime benefits. You're not getting a fair wage as far as the pies percentage. The NFL makes 117% more than the NBA, and the NBA makes like 100% more than the NFL. Why do I need a union? Why? I don't need a union. All these brothers, 32, 53 players on 30-some teams. I'm pretty sure somebody educated. I'm pretty sure we can get Richard Sherman, Tom Brady to the table. We can get about one representative from each NFL team to hash out a contract and get the same deal that we get in the NFLPA or better. I'm telling you, why are they paying the NFLPA money? Y'all can get y'all money, get y'all lawyer, and get a better deal than that to get the same deal. Real talk. Y'all paying union fees for what? And I know I'm going off subject. You got this whole union strike going on here with GM, Chrysler. They'll be striking soon, right? He said they don't want to miss them. You ain't gonna miss no game checks. Hey, this will be in February. You ain't gonna miss no game checks. They ain't gonna miss no game checks doing this. This go down in February. This man, that is your right. You just talk to all the players as they fall out the playoffs. You take to all the players. We gonna disband. We gonna disband. You disband. Each team get a representative. Y'all get a lawyer together. Pay him a flat fee. Hash out a better deal than that, or the same deal. Save your money. You ain't got to worry about whatever come out they check. Every second week, couple thousand come out your check. Save your fucking money. Save your money. You get the same health care. Fuck a grievance. You file a grievance for what? To tell them you lost? What you filed a grievance for? You gonna lose? You gonna lose? Gonna lose regardless. Fuck you filing a grievance for? Then they gonna get rid of your dumb ass. I've been there before. I've been in them unions. I know what they do. They swap niggas out. They told me, who you want to tell on anybody in your section? You want to tell on what they've been doing back there? Maybe you can say, yo, so I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I don't need this job. Tell them niggas that straight up and point and blank. I ain't want them niggas in here starving for this job. That's what they do. The union worked for the company. All the company got to do is come in there and say, cut a check for what they want. That's it. Cut your own deal, man. NFL players are so fetal, man. All them smart, educated people in the NFL, and there's a lot of them, they still going broke. They still got slave contracts. You know, that's why I feel bad for them. Kaepernick, every time you do something, it should be calculated, right? I was telling my daughter this the other day. I say, if you are going to do a crime or you are going to make a decision, you always should weigh the risks, weigh the consequences, or whatever. I had a cousin, long story short, he got in trouble. He did some dumb shit. He got 40 years, right? I said, if you're going to go out there and do some stupid shit, I said, when I was younger, I told her I was about your age. I was smart enough to know if I did this, I knew what the consequences was going to be if I get caught. I understood that. I thought about it. I laid the blueprint out about it, right? And I say, if I'm going to take this risk, I know I'm going to get my ass whooped. I know I can end up in jail or whatever. Now, if you're willing to still take that risk, cool. Think it out. But just don't do shit out the heat of the moment. Don't think I'm about to go out here and rob Ray Ray, right? And I'm about to just go pull the gun on Ray Ray. And I'm going to rob him, get his iPhone, get his money, do whatever these dumb kids be doing today. And everything going to go okay. It don't work that way. It don't work that way. What if Ray Ray resists? Bam, you make a mistake and shoot him. Right? What if you go to the grocery store and or this liquor store and you try to snatch and grab? You slip. Or the dude behind the counter starts shooting a shotgun or semi-automatic at you. You got to think about everything you do is a consequence to everything you do. It's a good consequence, a bad consequence. You have to think about every variable possible. And on top of that, the people that you run with, you got to trust them. In this day and age, 9 times out of 10, you can't trust them. Do you think Treyway regret letting 6ix9ine get to that stand? Do you think they regret all the mob movies? Think about the mob movies. Why do they always let the person that talked to the police, why he always get got? No matter if he, unless they know he rock solid. Remember Wire? Lil Kev, the police picked him up to make it seem like he was snitching, took him to the police station, he didn't say nothing, but Marlo and them still got him and killed him. He said, I ain't say nothing though. He had to go. He had to go. You leave no loose ends untied. 6ix9ine is a perfect example why you leave no loose ends untied. But everything you do gotta be calculated. Everything you do should be calculated because it's a consequence, it's repercussions. Told my daughter this a couple of days ago. Had the sex talk. Hate that fucking talk. But it is what it is. I told her you have sex for what? You have sex is not for the pleasure of Sean, Renardo, Brittany, Brandy, East, E-Man, East. Sex is for reproduction. That is what sex is for. It's not because I need to relieve stress. That's not the primary reason for sex. No matter if you put a Jimmy on the hat, you gotta tell these kids this. They don't know the condom can come off. The boys don't know girls poke holes in the condom. They don't know the condoms can get loose inside of you. They don't know that. If you don't tell them, they don't know. When I was young, I didn't know how to put a fucking condom on. I'll keep it real to you. We went on YouTube when we was coming up. Now I can just put the little condom on the tip of my shit, and I can slide in, and the condom will roll right on my shit. I'm a pro. But 20 years ago, I wasn't a pro, so I will salute. I wasn't. Don't assume. That's the number one problem in the relationships. No matter what relationship you got, coworker, girlfriend, daughter, son, cousin, auntie, nephew. The number one problem with a relationship is assumption. One of the top assumption. You assume that I thought you knew I had to pick you up at work then. I assumed that I thought she knew about condoms. I thought she knew about the birds and the bees. You assume shit. Oh, hey, babe, I thought you was going to... Nah, I didn't know. Put a note on the door. Put a note on the refrigerator. Text or whatever. Assumption. You got to talk to your kids and let them know. Now, if they go out there and still make the same decision, just make sure you think about what's going to happen. See, these kids think sex is cool, it's fun, it's just for the feeling. No. At its most essence, at the very, very bare minimum, when you talk about what is sex, it's for reproduction. It ain't for experimental. It ain't because I like it feel good. All that shit is second, third, fourth, fifth. It's for reproduction. And if you choose to put a condom on, it's not 100%. And if you don't wear a condom, you got to tell kids this too. Before I get to my picks, and I might come back and do a boxing line. I'm not sure. I don't know if I feel up to it, but they didn't know herpes. She didn't know herpes was something you couldn't get rid of, or it's other, STDs or it's other diseases that you can get that from unprotected sex, or with protected sex you can't get rid of. So you got to be very cognitive of who you have sex for and what to look for on people. And if you don't tell your kids that, I know we got off subject. If you don't tell them that, they don't know. Don't assume YouTube. Don't assume whatever it was is going to tell you that. Whatever you're going, or sex ed or whatever. I don't even think they really doing that no more. Don't assume that shit. Sometimes you can scare people without scaring them, without beating their ass, without showing a gun to them, or without choking the shit out of them, without getting mad. Sometimes information is the best deterrent that you can give. Real talk. Sometimes example is the best deterrent that you can give. That scared straight shit, even though they made it's funny to me, it's real shit. Samuel, I knew before I get these picks, I knew when I got old, man, I know when I got old and I seen cousins going in and out the pen, I just knew I ain't want that life. I knew I wasn't about that life. I wasn't gonna sell no crack. I wasn't gonna sell no weed. I wasn't gonna be robbing and stealing. I ain't had time for it. I knew, you know what? Everybody want to be gangster. Everybody want to be like niggas think you gonna end up like Takashi. If you're not built for it, you're not built for it. All right. Don't be that dude hanging yourself in the cell. Don't be you that dude that's getting passed around the prison. If you're not about that life, go get a 9 to 5. If you want to live past 25, 30, 35, 40, then cool. It's nothing bad about getting a 9 to 5. It's nothing bad about it. Just don't let the 9 to 5 be the end. Use the 9 to 5 to get your own, but y'all know how it is. Hold on. These damn summer codes be tripping. Dana Jones say, the problem these days is too easy to get abortions, and Planned Parenthood is getting hundreds of millions of the government every year, whipping out the black greatness. True, you know. And everybody think, oh, I can always fall back on welfare. No, you don't. I told my daughter the other day, I said, you don't want to be on welfare. You don't want to be in the system. But let's go to these picks. Let's see what we rolling with. All right, I'm gonna see what we rolling with real quick. I'll take questions after this, man. His nigga that snitched on Cardi B, ain't that shit crazy? All right, we got tonight's game. Jags and Titans. This is gonna be an ugly game. I'm gonna pick the Titans. I'm gonna pick the Titans. I'm gonna say 12-9. Now we got the Bengals and the Bills this Sunday at 1. I got the Bills. It wouldn't surprise me if the excuse me. It wouldn't surprise me if the Bengals won. It wouldn't. But Bills rolling. They got the rookie Singletary. I like him. I look for John Brown. What's his name? John Brown, whatever that nigga receiver. I like for him to have a big game. If you playing fantasy, Tennessee Jaguars, I would probably take the defenses. Derrick Henry. If I had to take Derrick Henry, and that's it. Leonard Fournette looking like mad bummish these days. Lions, Eagles. I like the Lions. Eagles got a lot of injuries. Wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles won. I roll with the Lions. Jets, Patriots. Stop playing with me. Patriots to cover too. And at the crib, it's gonna get ugly. Raiders, Vikings. Raiders coming to the Vikings. I like Kirk Cousins and them. Oh, the Lions and the Eagles. That's that. I wouldn't really trust nobody fantasy wise off top. Zach Ertz. Lions receivers. Amendola preferably. I like all the Lions receivers. I like Zach Ertz. Yep. That's what I like. Zach Ertz, Aguilar, since I think Jeffries and Deshaun Jackson. I love Aguilar. That's a punt play, but those are the ones I like. Bills and Bengals. I already said that one. Jets and Patriots. Who I like. Anything Patriots. Patriots defense. Patriots receivers. You stretch for a running back. Burkhead. But I primary. This got a Sony Michel game written all over it. For real. Raiders, Vikings. I like the Vikings here. Only because they're at home, to be real. If they was in Raiders, I'd pick the Raiders. There's in Oakland. I like Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is a must play this game. I like Dalvin Cook huge. Raiders wise, I like Vikings defense. Raiders wise, I really don't like nobody. Maybe I'll take a flyer on Tyrell Williams and Josh Jacobs. But I like Vikings defense, and I love some Dalvin Cook this week. Love Dalvin Cook. Game of the week for me, Ravens and Chiefs. That Ravens defense ain't the same from last year. I like my homeboy to throw a block party. I like my homeboy for 3 TDs this week. I like everybody this game. Everything offense. I like Mahomes. He probably gonna be like 10 bands this week almost on FanDuel. I like Mahomes. I like Robinson. I like Watkins. I like Kelsey to break out this week. I like LaShawn McCoy to get on track. I like Lamar Jackson. I like Mark Ingram. I like Hollywood Brown. And I like Andrews, the tight end. I like everybody that game. When you playing daily fantasy, that's going to be a lot of chalk that game. A lot of chalk. A lot of chalk. Falcons, Colts. Got the birds and the horses. It's a good one right here. Falcons suck outside of Atlanta. They suck in the dome. They suck outside. I'm going with the I'm going with the Colts. Whatever a fucking coat make. Whatever the horse make. What sound the horse make? I'm picking the Megan Thee Stallions. I'm picking the Indianapolis Megan Thee Stallions. I'm picking them niggas. I'm picking the Megan Thee Stallions. Why I'm picking the Stallions? Don't trust Matt Ryan outside the dome. The Colts got a pretty good defense. I like Melvin. What's his name? Melvin Mack. Whatever. I'm gonna get his name right. Whatever the fucking Colts running back. I like him Hughes this week. Love him this week. I like Ty. Low key on daily fantasy. If you stretch for a quarterback, I like Jacoby Brissett. I like Ebron to get in the end zone, or the other quarterback or the other tight end they got. Doyle. Atlanta wise, Julio, really maybe. But I like the whatever the fuck the course make. I like what the fuck the horses. I like to make Indianapolis Stallions, Megan Thee Stallions. That's how I like the dog. Marlon Mack. Yeah, I'm gonna get his ass name. I'm gonna get them together. Broncos and Packers. Come on, man. It's another tough defense for Aaron Rodgers. You know what? I'm gonna pick Aaron Rodgers. I think it's gonna be another tough day. But I think he gonna put up 24 points this game. Broncos getting stumped. Dolphins and the Cowboys. I'm not picking them Dolphins. I'm picking the Cowboys. I don't know if they cover. That's a lot of points. It was like 22 and a half. I'm picking them Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? I'm picking them boys. We them boys. Dum, 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 dum. Nigga, Wiz Khalifa, the biggest fanboy rapper of all time. This nigga switched side first. Black and yellow. Now we them boys. Come on, nigga. Pick a side, bro. I know you gotta get your money, Wiz. Giants, Bucks. I can't make a cannon sound, but cannon to the left, cannon to the right, Jeffrey. For those who watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, cannon. I like the Bucks. Giants just fucking suck. I am interested to see Daniel Jones this week. I think he'll do okay. But Famous Jameis probably gonna let me down this week. But I'm gonna pick Famous. Panthers and Cardinals. Cardinals at home. I don't even know what happened to that boy. I'm picking the Cardinals. What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? That boy Cam Newton got put ass whooping on that boy. I got them birds. I got them birds. Do the Birdman clap. But let me get to my fantasy picks for the last few picks. If I'm Green Bay, I like Devontae Freeman in the Green Bay defense. Broncos, if I had to pick somebody, it's probably going to be Phillip Lindsay and Emmanuel Sanders. Everything Cowboys, I'm taking the quarterback, the running backs, the grandmas, the tight ends, the get backs, the defensive backs, everything from the Cow. I'm taking all Cowboys. Giants, I like Saquon this week to make a little bit of noise. Tampa, Godwin is a must. I like Evans to break out this week. And I like Ronald Jones III. That's my sleeper in that one. Panthers and Cardinals, I like Christian McCaffrey. I like Arizona defense. I like Kyler Murray this week. And I like Fitzgerald. But got the Cardinals winning that one. Steelers and 49ers, I like the 49ers. I like 49ers because they at the crib. I do like Mason Rudolph. I think he's going to be pretty good. I think he's going to give the Steelers an opportunity to beat her at the end to get a playoff spot because I don't think nobody in the AFC North going to separate themselves. But Jimmy Garoppolo playing on a different level. They running the ball. They protecting Jimmy. I like Arizona defense. I like 49ers defense. I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I like Goodwin to get a deep pass, and I like any one of those running backs they got back there as well. So I got Arizona. I got 49ers beating the shit out the Steelers. I think it'd be closer than what most people think. Whatever they call Levi Stadium now, it ain't Candlestick no more. Uh, Saints and Seahawks, whatever Seahawks make. I think it's gonna be an interesting one. Uh, I like Russell Wilson and the Seahawks to overcome the Saints, but I think the Saints will be competitive this game. I think I think Taysom Hill gonna get most of the snaps. At some point in time, he gonna get a lot of snaps. They won't say who their quarterback. Love the Saints defense, but usually I don't take defenses on the road. But I think they'll do well versus the Seahawks. But I think Russell Wilson gonna be different. He gonna make a couple plays there to win the game. But I like Russell Wilson this week. I like Tyler Lockett or Metcalf. That's what I like, and I like the Seahawks defense. Saints Kamara is probably the only one I really like. I like Kamara. That's it. Maybe the defense. I usually don't do defenses on the road. Excuse me. I usually don't do defenses on the road, but that's a daily fantasy law. You don't do defenses on the road. Sometimes chances make champions, though. Texans and Chargers is a good one. Deshaun Watson having problems protecting them. Phillip Rivers is looking like new money. He's very accurate. They got some injuries. No Derwin James. Melvin Gordon still out. This will be a good game. I don't think I got a matchup for DeAndre Hopkins at all. Woo! This is a good game right here. I'm going to take the Chargers to win this game. Going back home. And the difference is I like Ingram and Bosa to to make some plays on Watson. I think that's going to be like a 31-28 type of game. Give me 1 minute, y'all. All right, my bad. Um, who is that? Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be a 31-28 type of game. I'll take the Chargers. Yeah, I'll take the Chargers. Like the Chargers this game. Wouldn't surprise me if the Texans won. Shout out to Karate Body. See you. What I like out of that game, everybody. Watson. This might be one of those games that go under the radar. The highest scoring game this week is gonna be the Ravens and the Chiefs. But if you daily fantasy, you don't want a ton of chalk. This is a game that I like to see. I like to see guys really stack. I like to stack Watson. I like to stack Duke Johnson, or Carlos Hyde, or DeAndre Hopkins. I like Will Fuller or Kenny Stills to pop out this game. It ain't a defensive game though. Offensive, I like Keenan Allen Hughes this game. I like Mike Williams if he healthy this game. I like Eckler a lot. If I'm stretching for a running back, I like Justin Jackson. For real. No tight end really dominant for neither team. So Hunter Henry out for a couple more weeks. So I like the Chargers slightly, but yeah, Rams and Browns, the Brownies. Y'all niggas like some brownies? I got the Rams in this one. Um, Rams already went outside one in Carolina. Carolina defense is 5 times the defense Cleveland is. Aaron Donald, if he healthy, I like him to sack Baker Mayfield like 3 times. Baker Mayfield gonna struggle. Hold on, I like Baker Mayfield to struggle this game. Um, Wade Phillips gonna fuck him up. I got the Rams 34-21. This is another sneaky offensive game. I like Cooks. Cooper Cup. Gurley, man, that nigga ain't running the ball that much. I know the week I don't pick Gurley, he gonna blow up, but I wouldn't fuck with Gurley. But they know David Njoku for the Browns. He hurt some wrist or something. Odell Beckham probably. I like the receivers, but primarily I'm looking at Odell. They not running the ball a lot with Chubbs, which they should be running the ball a lot more with Chubbs. I like Odell, Jarvis, and I like everybody from the Rams except for Todd Gurley, even Goff. I think Goff should get off this week, but that's what I like. I like the Rams to soundly beat the Browns from Cleveland. The second Brownies, because the real Brownies down there in Baltimore. All right, last game of the week, the Bears The Bears and the Redskins. I don't like nobody in fantasy but the Bears defense in this one. Trubisky sucked, but I predict Trubisky will get on the board with a touchdown this week. I predict they will beat the Redskins 24-13. I think Case Keenum will get knocked out the game. Dwayne Haskins will come in. But Bears should get this dub on Monday night. They on the road in DC. Defense, I think they defense travel, but other than that, I like their defense. I like Tyreek Cohen this week. That's pretty much it. So just to go down through the picks, we like the Titans over the Jags tonight. We like the Bills over the Bengals. I got the Lions over the Eagles. I got the Patriots over the Jets. I got the Vikings over the Raiders. I got the Chiefs over the Ravens. I got the Colts over the Atlanta Falcons, the Dirty Birds. I got the Green Bay over Broncos. I got the Cowboys over the Dolphins. I got the Bucks over the Giants. I got the Cardinals over the Panthers. No Cam Newton, I'm presumably. Don't think he assume he gonna win. I got the Niners over the Steelers. I got the Hawks over the Saints. I got the Chargers over the Texans, and I got them Rams over the Browns. That's a road team. And I got the Bears over the Skins. So I ain't got too many road teams this week. The road teams that I do got winning: Lions, hmm, Lions, Texans, no, Lions, Rams, and Bears. I think the road teams I got this week. So went 10-6 last week. Y'all got any questions? I'm gonna go ahead and answer any football related questions. I might start up another live later on. But let me know if y'all got any football related questions. They need to cut Trubisky. Bullshit. Who they gonna go to then? Kaepernick? We just had a conversation about him. He ain't coming back. It's over with. 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 It's over. I'm not sure. I'm hearing it. Might be in Inglewood, but I'm not seeing anything being built. Yeah, Sean will know more. He said, "Right, but I think it's gonna be hot." Oh, you talking about that stadium? I heard that shit. I heard that's already being built. Oh, you talking about the Clippers arena? I don't think it's being built yet. I heard they got a new arena coming though. I don't think it started yet. Shit, they getting out of the fucking Staples. I don't wonder what's wrong with the new form. But hey, they probably want their own building. They can go to the Water Boy. Fooling. Well, yeah, man, I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate everybody for checking in. I'm gonna be back on Wednesdays if I'm feeling healthy next week. If not, I'm gonna try to get in, which I want to get into, man. Appreciate it. I'm gonna try to come back with some boxing later. If not, I'll be on live boxing tomorrow. Appreciate the love, support, and don't forget Patreon. Check it out, and I'm gonna be putting that Earl Spence, Sean Porter prediction up on the Patreon if y'all want to join over there. It's only $2 for boxing. We gone.